Welcome to Midlife Customs at Craig's Garage. In this video I do some more metal work and start getting things ready so that I can start putting the 67 F100 back together. If you like working on cars and watching DIY videos, then you should hit the subscribe button because that is what I post on this channel. Please take a quick minute to read this disclaimer. I am not a professional, nor do I claim to be. So what I wanted to do is go ahead and fix the hole on this fender. It's a little too bad. I know I said I kind of want to keep the body on this thing kind of natural and keep the natural look of the truck, but I just wanted to go ahead and clean the insides. That way I can get them covered looking nice. And like I said, the hole on this fender was a little much, so I'm going to go ahead and repair that. Here you can see after cleaning it out a little bit, it's really bad. So like I said, I just want to go ahead and replace it, and I just put a piece of tape around the area that I'm going to cut out so you can see here, and then I'll just go ahead and clean out behind that and treat it with a little bit of Rust-Oleum spray to protect it and kind of keep it from happening again. So after wire wheeling it a little bit, you can see it looks a ton better. Just sprayed it out with a little bit of Rust-Oleum paint to keep it from rusting again. Here I took a piece of 18 gauge steel that I had and cut out the rough shape and kind of wanted to get the form of it going. And I was able to use an English wheel for the first time, which I thought was pretty cool. It was actually really helpful, and I was quite surprised how quickly it started to form that piece of metal. So just back and forth for a while and then testing to see what the fit was like. After several times of going back and forth from the English wheel and testing it out, I can see how it was definitely starting to form to the exact shape, and I can see how being really good on one of these things would really work out for some metal work. So I definitely plan on using that more. For this piece, I kind of just measured out where it would go down, and I was gonna draw another line across the back so that I know where to stay in between and really kind of make that form over, and I'll show that here. And I'll speed this up, but you can see I just kept going back and forth in the same spot. And after a while I did realize that if I just kept pushing it through and not back and forth, it actually worked pretty good on this piece. I don't know if it's always that case, but yeah, I really think this tool is awesome. So here's what it looks like tacked into place, and like I said, I'm really happy with the outcome. And here's another shot of it ground down and finished up. And then finally I just brushed some epoxy on it. Next area I wanted to fix was like where the little bumper support for the hood goes. It just all rusted out, so I wanted to replace the metal in this area. And you can see here I went ahead and bent up a piece and kind of formed it. This piece took forever, so I'm not going to get into it. Nobody would watch that anyway. But here you can see that I just formed it up and it fit pretty nice. So I went ahead and cut out that area, and when I was done with that, I kind of cut out the back piece so that I can go ahead and cut another little strip and put that in for support, and also weld to it so that it looked more like a factory replaced thing than just kind of throwing it in there. Here you can see it all welded up, and then you can see it all kind of ground down and finished. Then I just brushed on a little bit of epoxy there too. So then I took a break and went to MPD in Ocala to pick up a crap load of parts. So when I finally start putting it back together, I have all the stuff I need, or at least most of it anyway. And here's a shot of all the areas that I kind of fixed up and epoxied. I just didn't want to leave all these big gaping rusted holes in these areas, so I just wanted to dress a little bit. Like I said, I do want to keep the natural look, but I also want to be able to look at it and be happy with the way it looks. So then I went ahead and put some body filler and sanded everything down and then hit it with primer. So I basically finished those areas out. When I was happy with that, I actually picked up some color match paint and hit the areas with the red to kind of match what was going on in those areas. And I was happy with the way it came out. I think it came out pretty good. And I also kind of like put scratches and little nicks to kind of match the surrounding area. And I'll mess with that a little bit later. And here it goes. After it's all scotch bright and cleaned and donned up, I put it in the booth. And here's where I might lose some people, where some people might turn on me, but I went with some high gloss clear and I really like the way it looked. I really think that's gonna add to the look. I'm thinking that will dial back a little bit over time, but yeah, I'm happy with it being glossed over. Oh, and also, this is the first time I ever sprayed clear. So there's two coats on here. And yeah, it was my first time ever actually spraying some clear or base or anything. So I was happy with that. So then I rolled everything out in the sun and gave it some time to cure. And I'll move on to the other parts so that I can start putting it back together and finally get to see what this thing's going to look like. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and leave a comment. And as always, thanks for watching.